everyone, my name is Shauna in case you don't know, and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be doing the mid-year book Freakout tag. This is a tag that goes around every year, but I have never done it before. It is 13 questions long, and it's just basically like talking about books that you've read so far this year and books that you want to read and all that stuff. So the first question is best book you've read so far in 2020. That for me is Akatawitch by Nettie Okerfer. I probably butchered her last name and I'm sorry about that. I had to read this book for a class and we were just supposed to read the first 5 chapters, but then I really enjoyed it and I don't like stopping reading books when I've started them, so I was like, I'm gonna finish this book, and I absolutely loved it. Akatawitch follows 4 kids and it focuses on this girl named Sunny, and Sunny is an albino. They all live in Nigeria and they sort of are like destined for this mission thing to defeat this villain. It's a really good read. It's extremely magical. It is a little more like violent than Harry Potter, but it does have a similar magical feel to Harry Potter. So I'd really recommend this to people who are like middle school and up if you like Harry Potter, because it's just freaking spectacular. Best sequel you've read so far in 2020. I'm not going to stand up and get it right now, but it's The Conference of the Birds. I'll include a picture somewhere on the screen of this book. The Conference of the Birds is the 5th book in the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series, and it was just as amazing as the previous 2 books. I'm like obsessed with the Miss Peregrine series and I wish more people would read it. I feel like it's somewhat hyped but not hyped enough, if you know what I mean. I'm not going to spoil the book, but it was sort of exciting to see a character from Hollow City that there's questions about what happened to them. If you've read Hollow City, you might be able to figure out what I'm trying to say, but there's a character that something happens to them in Hollow City and then you don't know what happens to them, and then you find out more in The Conference of the Birds. So that was really fun. Oh, and I feel like everyone already knows this, but if you don't know about the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series, it is basically like kids with these peculiarities or superpowers, and it has old antique photos in the books that make the book an interesting experience to read, and yeah, it's just spectacular. The next question is new release you haven't read yet but you want to. So I already packed this book away because I'll be moving into my new apartment soon, and this video will probably go up after I move into my new apartment. But the book that I haven't read yet that I want to read that's a new release is The Ballad of Snakes and Songbirds, or Songbirds and Snakes. I feel like a fake fan because I don't even know what the title is exactly off the top of my head. Yeah, it's the new Hunger Games book and I'm really excited for it. I've heard mixed reviews from it, but I think I'll love it because I am Hunger Games trash. Most anticipated release from the second half of the year. That is going to be Set Fire to the Gods. I'll post the cover somewhere on the screen again. Set Fire to the Gods is by Sarah Rash and Kristen Simmons, and Kristen Simmons is one of my favorite authors, and I will stand and support everything that she writes, so I'm excited for this book. I've also recently followed Sarah Rash on Instagram. I don't know if I followed her on Twitter, but anyways, I love what she posts on her Instagram stories because she like posts her TikToks there, so I think I'm gonna love her work and I love her as a person, so I'm just really excited for Set Fire to the Gods. It is gonna be freaking fantastic. Biggest disappointment? That for me is The Host. I loved The Host, like the movie, and I thought the book was good. Like I liked parts of it, I didn't like other parts, but as a whole it was like a major disappointment to me. It's basically a super long book. I wish I could go get it right now, but like I wasn't feeling well yesterday in terms of my pot symptoms and I almost passed out, so I feel like I shouldn't stand up and risk passing out right now. But The Host was just too long, and like the first part was good and the last part was good, but in the middle I was like, it's just dragging on and on and on and it's really boring. But the beginning and the end was good and I love the characters, so yeah. Has anyone read The Host? I feel like not that many people like The Host, but the movie was really good. But if you've read The Host, feel free to comment down below with your opinion on the book. Also, The Host was my first time reading a Stephanie Meyer book, and I do want to read the Twilight series at some point because my best friend has been trying to get me to read it, but I don't know. I just hope that the pacing is different in the Twilight series because The Host was so slow. I just hope it's more action-packed. Biggest surprise? For me, that is Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson. So this book is a memoir about Jacqueline Woodson's life, about her like, mainly focusing on when she was a kid. But it's written in, what is this called? Brain? Come on, brain. Figure out what this is. Verse. There we go. It's written in verse, which is like poetry, and I hate poetry, and I had to read this for my class, and I was like, I'm probably gonna hate this because I hate poetry, but it ended up to be absolutely amazing, and I'm actually gonna have my mom read it after I finish my class, which will be soon, because it is so incredible. You get an insight into her life, and just what like growing up as a black girl was like, and it's really, really interesting, and I love how there was like history in it too, but it's like interwoven into her story of her life, and it is just so beautiful. I absolutely recommend this book. It is a children's book, so if a kid wants to read it, by all means go ahead and let your kid read it if you have a kid, but you should also read it yourself even if you're an adult. The next question is favorite new author, debut or new to you? So I have two for this, and I've already shown both of these books, which is Nendi Okafor and Jacqueline Woodson. These two authors are both incredible. I had to read both these for my class, and yeah, they're just amazing, and I really want to read their other works now. And I've ordered Akata Warrior from a bookstore. I'm gonna link the bookstore down in the description below because I can't remember the bookstore's name off the top of my head. But yeah, I'm just really excited to read more books from these authors soon because they are incredible. Also, because of the Black Lives Matter movement, people have been searching for books that are written by black authors a lot more recently, and I really recommend these ones. This one is a fantasy world by a black female author, and it doesn't deal with racism that much, which a lot of people are wanting to read about racism, but it is incredible. And if you're like, I want to branch out and read more diverse authors, but I don't really know, I don't really want to like venture out of fantasy or whatever, then read Akata Witch. And with Brown Girl Dreaming, this does talk about some racism in here, so I highly recommend reading this one. Newest fictional crush. I don't have one. Here's the thing. I'm 19 and I read mostly young adult books, so it's like if I had a crush on a young adult character, it would be weird. You know, because most young adult characters I feel like are between the ages of like 13 and 17. So no, I don't have a new fictional crush. Newest favorite character. My newest favorite character is from Rebel, which is what I'm currently reading. When I'm in the middle of reading books, I don't read them with the jacket on because I don't want the jacket to get like all ruined and stuff. But I really like Eden from Rebel, and he was in the original Legend trilogy, and this is like the 4th book in the Legend trilogy. I don't know, I didn't like him as much in the Legend trilogy, like I didn't, like, I don't know, connect to him or anything like that, but I really like him in Rebel. Also, I'm not done with Rebel yet. As I said, I'm currently in the middle of reading it. I'm this far in. But I think this might be my favorite in the series, which is crazy because before I started reading this book, I was like, I'm so worried this is going to be an unnecessary sequel, and I was just really worried about reading it, but I'm actually really enjoying it, and I think it's going to be a 5-star read. Book that made you cry. I don't have one. Books very rarely make me cry. Yeah, I think I can count like on my fingers how many books actually made me cry. Goblet of Fire, Death Cure, and Deathly Hallows. So yeah, only 3 books have ever made me cry, so I haven't had one this year since I haven't reread any of those books this year. Next up is a book that made you happy. This is another book that I read for my class, and this is The Birchbark House by Louise Erdrich. The Birchbark House follows this Native American girl, and it's sort of like a growing up like kid story thing, and this follows 1 year. I thought it was cool that it was split into like seasons. See, here's like summer, and then it goes to all the different seasons, so it goes to like 1 year in her life. There is some sad parts in this book, and I almost cried, but I didn't cry. But as a whole, this book was very cute and made me really happy, and I really loved the characters in this book. I gave this one 4 stars, so it definitely did make me really happy. I'm also going to be having my mom read this one because I think she would like it, or if she doesn't like it, it might be a good one for her classroom since she's a teacher. Most beautiful book you've bought or received this year. Wait, I said that wrong. Most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received. I've bought a lot of pretty books this year, although because of the pandemic I haven't been going to bookstores as much, so I haven't been buying as many books this year, but I did buy The Novice, which I'll include a picture of the cover somewhere on this video. The Novice looks gorgeous. It's by Taryn Matheru. I'm really excited to be reading it. I currently have it packed up in a box since I'm moving to my new apartment soon, as I've said, but yeah, I just really like the cover on The Novice. The final question is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? So I had this list at the start of the year, and I'm like, I'm gonna read these books because I did a reading challenge last year and I was trying to like finish the books for that reading challenge. But now I'm just like, I'm not gonna worry about it too much, and if I get around to reading them, great. If I don't, I don't. So the only 2 books that I'm gonna force myself to finish reading by the end of the year, although force isn't necessarily the right word because I'm enjoying both of these books, so I won't be like forcing myself to continue a bad book. But those are the 2 books that I'm currently reading, which is Rebel, as I've already shown, and I'm that far in again. I really like this one, and I'm hoping to finish it by the end of the year. I've been reading it for like 2 or 3 months now because school has been stressing me out and taking up a lot of my time. But yeah, I hope to finish this one soon. And then I want to finish Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone by the end of the year. I will definitely finish it by the end of the year. I'm actually currently reading this book twice at once, which is really weird and probably really confusing, but it's fine. I know this book like the back of my hand, so I'm not getting too confused with my two different points that I'm in it. So I had to read this book for my class, and again, it was sort of like a Cottawitch, like we only had to read 5 chapters. So I'm currently on chapter 6, I'm this far in. So I'm reading it on my own like that, just continuing the spot where I left off from my class. And then I'm also listening to the Harry Potter read-alouds. They're reading Sorcerer's Stone. It's on the official Wizarding World social media, and I'll link the first chapter down in the description below if you haven't heard about the read-aloud. But it's basically like famous actors or celebrities are reading chapters of the books. It's mostly Harry Potter actors, but there are some other like actors, like I think Alec Baldwin? I almost said Adam Baldwin. He's Alec, and like Whoopi Goldberg read a chapter, but then there's also like the Harry Potter actors like Daniel Radcliffe, Eddie Redmayne, Bonnie Wright. Yeah, I'm obviously loving this book because I am reading it for the 3rd and 4th time, and when I was a kid I don't count these as reads of the book, so people are like, how many times have you read the book? And I'm like, not that many, because when I was a kid I checked out the audiobooks from the library for the Harry Potter books, and then I just like pop in CDs at random and just listen to bits and parts just because I like had a good memory of the books when I was younger. I still do have a good memory of the books, but like I would listen to different chapters and bits, so yeah. I probably listened to each book at least 2 or 3 times in audiobooks, but like I didn't listen to the chapters in order because I was a chaotic child. Anyways, that's all for this mid-year book freakout tag. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I think I'm on like 36 books or something like that for my Goodreads challenge, so I'll definitely be able to finish it in time since I'm aiming for 50 books. I really hope all of you are staying healthy and happy. I mentioned the Black Lives Matter movement a little bit in this video. I will be including some petitions down in the description below. It's not going to be a complete list, but I will be including some petitions that I haven't reached their signature mark yet as of when I'm filming this video, and I would really appreciate it if you can go sign those petitions. It's really important to be talking about the Black Lives Matter movement right now, so use your voice that you have on social media. Even if you only have like 20 followers on your account, you can still impact people with your words. So we have to fight racism, so use your voice. Even if you feel like people won't listen, you gotta try to do something to fight this racism that is happening in our world. Okay, that is all for today, and I will see all of you in my next video. Bye!